Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here from Safi Financial Network. Today is December 9, 2024. Here is another daily analysis, starting with the S&P 500 daily chart. So we just got reversal today, nicely getting to the downside. This is kind of like the scenario that I'm looking at for more corrective moves. So the previous correction actually was very shallow. We just got one red bar getting back to the upside, new all-time high. But seems like this consolidation is getting kind of like a breakout to the downside. And if it gets kind of like a confirmation with today's price action, we may get to SMA 20, which is a 6,000 area. So 6,000 still is going to be a very shallow corrective move. If it gets down to, I would say 5,800, that would be kind of like the correction, the type of correction, and we would be still within this uptrend. So there is nothing wrong with it, even if we get there, as long as we are above election pivot, which is November 4. So we are in a bullish market right now. So even if we get kind of like a deeper corrective move to here, still we are within this trend line here. So there's nothing wrong with chart if we get a correction. So actually that would be even better, healthier price action for the market over the long run, because the more stretch to the upside, this means the correction is going to be more fragile and very sharp down the road, and it's going to be a painful. So for those folks, even if you're bullish, you would rather to have a healthy correction all the way to 55, 5,600 rather than just going all the way up and then getting dumped into recession and stock is getting all the way down to 50%, 60% corrective move to the downside. Moving on to Nasdaq, which was kind of like a leading a corrective move today. So Nasdaq hit a nominal new all-time high today, but just a slam down, still staying above Friday open. But if we get kind of like the confirmation, we may see another sell-off to here to 20,000 area. So still 21,000 to 20,900. That would be the scenario. That would be a very shallow, healthy correction. So if that happens, that would be kind of like a good buying opportunity for the next rally to the upside. Waiting for that one to see how market is going to impact different sectors. I would say there are some cracks in Nasdaq, especially when we get to semiconductor. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean, but semiconductors actually did very bad today. So NVIDIA, AMD, they just took a hit, and we will get to those ones. Moving on to Dow, which is coming down for the third consecutive days. Dow is getting into SMA 20, previous top here. So we may see a bounce, a short-term bounce, or consolidation, but the bigger correction is going to be 44,000. So if we get to 44,000, we may see some kind of like a bounce. But I would say there is going to be a scenario that this trend line, actually this dynamic trend line, broken to the upside. And let me just show you here. So here's the scenario that I'm looking at. So we may see some kind of like a deeper corrective move to here to 43,500, 600. So that would be the area that I'm looking at for Dow. If we get there, that would be kind of like a decent buying opportunity, especially top of this candle, just getting close to this pivot. So that would be kind of like the scenario that I'm looking at. Potential higher low is coming down the road. Moving on to gold, which had a move today, almost 1% to the upside. Gold forming a bearish consolidation, but today price action is kind of like a neglecting the pattern here, just getting back to the upside. If it gets above 226, I would say if it gets above 26.85, a daily close above this would be kind of like invalidated this consolidation, and we may see a potential breakthrough to the upside. So still, the pattern is bearish, but I would say the bearishness is getting less, especially with Syria, geopolitical tensions in Middle East again. So lots of eyes actually are getting back to Syria, Middle East. Seems like that region of war is not going to be over, and I don't think the peace is coming for Syria. So we will see how it goes. But based on at least my experience 42 years ago, people thought that when they removed the Shah from Iran, They thought that the peace is coming, but where are we at now? So anyway, so let's just focus on the game. Let's just focus on the chart. Silver, this is kind of like the scenario that we saw for silver. Silver sparking higher to the upside. It's just getting back to this supply area. So $32 recapture. So right now, silver is, I would say this is pretty bullish. I see lots of um, supply area here, here, and here, but the price action actually is forming very nice. Nice double bottom. Just testing this neckline here, and this W pattern forms to the upside. Recaptured all SMAs, so this is bullish structure. So if you see any kind of like a pullback to 31 to $30, that would be kind of like, I would say, potential buying opportunity. I know I was waiting for this area, still looking for this area, but seems like market doesn't want to stop its bullish momentum, and potentially this was the only, like getting to the $29 was the only correction that we saw for silver for now. Moving on to crude. Crude had a positive day today, but again, this is kind of like a lower low, lower high. So actually, it's just a flat, but flat on 67. But I would say this is kind of like the last struggle for crude if it wants to keep its momentum. So right now, crude needs to get above 72, pull back for rally here to 74. 74, 75, that would be the scenario. Still within this trend line here, but at least it shows something. Right now, it is struggling to the downside. So we need to see crude gets back above 72 to give it some advance for a bullish momentum to maximum $80. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to individual names. So starting with Bitcoin. Bitcoin just slammed down today. I would say Bitcoin. This is tricky, guys, but Bitcoin is now forming a lower high here. So this is the high, and this is a lower high. And right now, if Bitcoin is getting back again to this trend line, if it breaks below Friday's session, I would say this is going to be a very dramatic fall to the downside, and we take this opportunity because I would say Bit move is not over. So I'm just waiting for this one to get slammed down and getting back to the upside. Ethereum is the same. So pretty volatile price action today, just going all the way down to $35 and then getting back to the upside, 3,500 right now, 36.65. And if it breaks down, I would say Ethereum can go all the way down to 3,000 for a bigger corrective move. Moving on to the bond yield spike up today, just a shallow, I should say, jump. But bond is getting down. So I would say potentially bond yield is down because of the inflation data is coming to this week. So everyone is just looking at the inflation data, the CPI number. If it's above expectation, the bond yield is going to go higher and treasury is going to go down. But if it's just getting aligned with the expectation or even below expectation, which I doubt, so well, we'll see. Treasury is going to go up and bond yield is going to go down. VIX 11% uptick today, so seems like VIX formed the bottom around somewhere around 13 to 12. Dixie 20 cents up, not a bad session. Dixie is forming a very choppy price action here. This is very normal. This trend has been broken to the upside. Right now, it's just testing. We may see another potential jump to 106.50 to 106.80, I would say 73. Then after that, we can see rollover to the downside. Moving on to the magma indicator. Magma, just a doji bar, $4. Apple at $3.91 up, new all-time high for Apple. Apple 246. Right now, it's just forming very nice pattern to the upside. This is overstretched, overbought. Anyway, if you want to slice it and dice it, and but this is new all-time high. New all-time high can hit another new all-time high. Amazon just forming the top here, shooting a star at new all-time high. So we will see if this is just going to be a corrective move to the downside, potential to 200 area And that would be kind of like a decent correction for Amazon. And if Amazon gets back here, I would say Nasdaq is going to have like a 2-3% correction. The same here, Meta. Meta is forming ending diagonal after this breakthrough to the upside. 640, 625. I was kind of like waiting for, even it stretches to 630. But right now, I would say Meta is forming ending diagonal. So we'll see how it goes. Microsoft, $2 up, not a bad session. Breaking through, just getting above these two pivots. Right now, it's just getting to this gap, which is the resistance here. Google, another positive day, 66 cents up. Netflix, $21 down today, 2%, 2.25% gap down and continuation to the downside. Tesla, so it just hit a 400 level and then getting back down sharply. Still managed positive, but again, this is kind of like the forming top information, I would say. Moving on to semiconductors, 1% down. So this is the weakness of today's market, folks. Semiconductors, I know after recent rally, they cannot manage itself to have a strong move to the upside. SOX, the same pattern here. Just $1 down. Taiwan Semiconductor, just after breaking through, getting back to the downside. Is this just a pullback or fake breakout? So time will tell. AMD is slaughtered today, just going down 5%, 5.57% to the downside. AMD is coming to the level that I was waiting for. So this is the area, and this is another area that I'm looking at, but this is going to be the first target for a downside move before getting to the upside. NVIDIA, 2.55% to the downside. NVIDIA is forming head and shoulder here. This pattern is forming at the top. So this is very, very classic pattern. 132, keep an eye on this, because if it goes below 132, triggered spike down to 120 to 118. So we'll see how it goes. But this chart tells me that we may see a potential scenario for more downside moves. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Texas Instrument, just forming the bottom here after a recent correction to the downside, 193. Lamb Research, 86 cents up. Not a bad session for Lamb, just forming a reverse head and shoulder. So there is a crack or divergence in semis. One or two is doing good, but the rest are not doing good at all. So XLF, 1.37% to downside. This is a classic drop-based rally, and it can just go all the way down to this gap. KVE, the same pattern here. 56, remember that. KRE, the same pattern here. $60, this is the area that I'm looking at. JP Morgan, $3.55 down. So this is going to be 224, 225. So let's just put a marker here as well. So this is the area that I'm looking at, or even just getting to 220. Goldman Sachs, the same pattern, $5.56 down. So this is the area, 530. Bank of America, 84 cents down. And this one can go down to $42 to $43. Wells Fargo, $1.71 down. Here, this one can go to 64. And GDX, so here's the gold miners. That's what I'm saying. Like, gold miners actually spike up today. This is a nice bullish consolidation, but look at the candle here. This is not the candle that everyone wants to see as a breakout. So this is like a fake breakout, right? So shooting a star at breakout, it's not a good pattern. It's not a bullish one. So we're looking at for this tomorrow, but if it goes above 39, that would be kind of like the bullish development. But if we close negative tomorrow, so that would be a fake breakout today. GDXJ, the same pattern here. Better price action, at least just a green bar, but still shooting a star. AEM, the same pattern here. Look at that. So Newmont is the same, 62 cents down here. Franco Nevada, $1.50 up, but not a bad session until last hour. So last hour just sold off sharply, and it's just forming a nice fake breakout. Gold Barrick, the same here. Jump up, going all the way up to $17, getting back to the downside. Moving on to the XLE, which is an energy spider. This is the same. So it was just gapped up, but going all the way down there. XOP, the same here, moving up then going down. So OIH, $2 up today, but candle is not as strong. Chevron and Exxon the same. Exxon here, $6.67, actually 67 cents down. And Chevron, $1.84 up. But look at the candle. So long shadows at the top. This means the correction is not over yet. So we will see how it goes, folks. What do you think, folks? What do you think about the market? What's the good area for buying opportunity? Just put your comments down there. Have a fantastic evening. See you on the chart. Bye-bye.